Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Alicia Logan. I'm a mindfulness coach in my self-awareness era. I am so happy that you're here. Today, I'm opening up about one of the most difficult times or moments in my life. The reason I'm sharing is because I know that vulnerability connects us. 5 years ago, April 2020, my father passed away unexpectedly. And his passing shifted my world in ways I could never imagine. Now, in February 2020, I turned 50. What an amazing age and an amazing stage of life to be in at 50. It's like life's just starting. In March of 2020, the pandemic happened that affected all of us, and the world shut down and we all went into isolation. And then in April, my father passed. I share those things because they have an effect on this story. I am so grateful, so thankful to have had both my parents for more than half my life at the age of 50. Not only did I get to have them, I also had relationships with them. And I love that for me. And it is not something that I take for granted. Let me tell you a little bit about my dad. My dad lived in a senior community, one that he absolutely loved. Oftentimes he would sit out front on the bench and either talking with friends or he's just out observing nature, just looking at the trees and the animals that go by, squirrels. When I visit him, he's inside. He would sometimes be sitting at his kitchen table, just looking out the window, thinking about nothing. He said, just enjoying nature. Or maybe he's watching TV or simply listening to the radio. See, for the last decade of my father's life, he didn't drive. And I got to take him to his appointments along with his sisters sometimes, his doctor's appointments, grocery shopping, and to get his hair cut. There's a cute story. A cute story about getting a haircut. I take my dad to get his hair cut. See, my dad had naturally curly hair. And I would say, why don't you get your haircut short? Because in the system, they had to only use a certain guard for his hair. And I was thinking, if you get it cut a little shorter, we didn't have to come as often. But guess what? He didn't care about having to come more. So I would ask him, Dad, why won't you get your hair cut low? And he says to me each time, because the ladies love the curls. I would laugh, then he would laugh, then the barber would laugh. And the reason this was so funny to me is because my son, when he was in his grade school days, he said the same thing. The girls love the curls. What that showed me is that my father was still in touch with the little boy inside of him. And I love that for him. See, oftentimes as human beings, we push down the kid in us and we don't allow them to come out. Sometimes they disappear altogether. We need to do better at allowing the kid in us to come out. During the last decade of my father's life, we had so many conversations. I got to experience him as a human being, as a man, and not just as a title of my father. We would have all kind of conversations. We would people watch. And because I was heavy into ancestry, we got to talk a lot about his childhood and how he grew up. And there was a lot of beauty in all that information for me. Grief, the reality of grief is that it's hard. It's unexplainable pain. For me, it felt like someone took my heart out of my body after it expanded with pain and then tried to put it back in, which only caused more pain because it didn't easily fit. I made our backyard our safe haven since we were stuck inside. I spent a lot of time on the swing and under this beautiful neem tree. I learned some breathing techniques and I apply those every day. I breathe in all the beautiful memories and breathed out anything that wasn't serving me. And I did that several times a day. And when I would sit under the tree, I was able to connect with parts of me that I didn't even know existed. In the stillness of me sitting under the tree, I was able to connect with a part of myself that I didn't even know was there. That self-awareness journal that I mentioned in the welcome video, that was for me. I started journaling again. I journaled for 5 months straight every day. And what I learned from that is after about 12 weeks, I started to see a little more fun memories coming up and the sadness was starting to dissipate. I did photography as a part-time job, and portrait photography is what I truly enjoy because I love the differences in people. COVID was among us, so that was not allowed. Couldn't do that anymore. I decided not to do that anymore. And I started painting. I put a lot of energy into painting, and I found myself painting and feeling amazing and talking to my father and hearing his voice in return and seeing doves, or not doves, seeing white and red birds. So all the tools I use to help me navigate grief. Grief as a teacher. Grief taught me that grief wasn't taking my father from me, but instead it was allowing me to carry him forward in beautiful memories. Grief wasn't taking my father from me, but allowing me to carry him forward in beautiful memories. So if you're experiencing grief, know that there's no straight line, there's no guidebook. Your feelings are valid. You matter. Your process can take as long as it needs to take. Allow anything that emotions or feelings that need to come up and come out. Take your time and do all of that without judgment. Just try not to get stuck in it. Keep pushing forward day by day, and eventually you'll be on the other side of it. Not that it'll go away completely, but you'll start to have beautiful memories. I would love to hear some of your stories. Thank you so much for allowing me to share mine. I hope that me sharing this will help someone, provide them a tool or two to help them put some energy into something that will allow them to release. If you feel like this is your tribe, consider liking, subscribing, and then shine your beautiful light in the comments below. Until the next video, have an amazing day.